on everyone, it's Reaver, and today I'm going to be going over the King of Blood build, which is an arcane build that outputs heavy blood and arcane damage that mainly scales with the arcane stat. So if you guys are interested in dealing some high damage and almost one-shotting certain bosses, make sure to watch this guide. The main weapons we're going to be using for this build are the Rivers of Blood Katana, which is insane, the Mohgwyn Sacred Spear, which allows us to deal some blood leech damage, and then for the seal we're using the Dragon Communion Seal, which lets us get insane arcane damage. For the armor, just use a white mask on whichever armor you please. The talismans, we got the Radagon icon, the Shard of Alexander, the Lords of Blood Exaltation, and finally the Godskin Swaddling Cloth. All this together creates the King of Blood build, which mainly focuses on high blood damage and blood leech. The first weapon, as you guys can see in this clip, is the Mohg Sacred Spear you get from killing Mohg, the demigod, in the Mohgwyn Palace. We're going to use this to be leeching blood from our enemies, like this troll over here. And we're also going to be using it to take out large swarms of enemies, which can be surrounding us. This is also helpful in multiplayer, if you guys are looking to deal damage to multiple players. Now for the second and the main weapon of this build is the Rivers of Blood Katana. You get it in the Mountaintop of Giants from an invasion near a church, right before the fire giant. This weapon is insane. It outputs incredible damage and it can almost two-shot certain bosses. You're mainly going to use this as your main sword, and you're going to want to use it as your main DPS. This sword is incredible and it does crazy high damage. Now for this build we're doing incantations only. First we have the Golden Vow, which increases your damage incredibly. Then we have the Flame Grant Me Strength, which increases our Bloodflame damages from the two spells we're going to be using. Then we have Bloodflame Talons, as you guys are seeing in this clip. It does incredible damage quickly, and paired with the talisman I told you to use earlier, it pops incredibly quickly. Then we have Bloodboon, which is a Bloodflame spell that's mainly used for area denial. We're going to want to be using this to block enemies' line of vision or to stop them from running through a certain area. It also does high DPS to fire weak bosses like Millennia. Finally we have Swarm of Flies, which is our main DPS spell we're going to be using. This locks onto an enemy and does incredible bleeding damage and can go up to 4,000 damage on some bosses. And when you put it all together, you get the King of Blood build. Now some general tips I'd like to give for this build is just to spam the sword, honestly. Spam the sword special ability, Corpse Piler. It does incredible blood loss damage if you guys are looking to output that kind of damage. Additionally, I also would recommend you guys to use the spear more often. A lot of people that do use my build don't often use the spear, but it is great for clearing out enemies when they're not attacking you, especially in this clip right here. Also, one last time, I would like to mention that the spells should be used a bit more often as well. Remember, this build isn't always about sword spam, it's more about using the spells within variation to get more blood loss, which also pairs up with the talisman and helmet very well. All of these spells paired up with the Dragon Communion Seal, which is the best arcane and dragon seal, allows the spells to output incredibly high damage and allows me to kill Mohg just like that. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you, and see you later.